Hello, Daniel Hall here, progressing, percolating, and evolving. And in today's video, I have something very special for you. We're actually going to chat about 4 different ways that you can sell books online without writing anything yourself. Ready? Let's go. If you're new to the channel, I want to welcome you here. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe if you haven't yet done that. And when you do that, make sure you also click that little bell notification, which will notify you every time I actually upload one of these great videos for you. And as always, it'd be a huge help if you get value from this video, or if you don't. Either way, hit the like button. Really appreciate that. So with that, let's jump into today's video. I actually have 4 tips for you that will allow you to sell books and make money online without writing anything yourself. They actually revolve around 4 main topics. The first one I want to chat with you about is using public domain content. The next one I want to talk about is how you could actually employ college students to write your stuff for you. And third, we're actually going to talk about how to repackage and repurpose content like I've done with my realfastresults.com podcast and turned out an entire library of Kindle books in that way. And last, I have a bonus tip for you on how you could actually benefit by participating in an anthology. And while that's not quite zero writing, it is very little writing and disproportionate value that you get from the small amount of effort that you actually put into a book like that. So we're going to chat about all of those things in today's video. The first really cool thing to do is look at using public domain content to create books that you don't have to write yourself. I've actually done this many times. In fact, I've published over 2,500 books in Kindle that really did very well. In fact, one of the things I want to show you is let me open my Kindle app here. We took the belling of the cat here with one of my partners, Lisa Rothstein, who just happens to be a cartoonist with the New Yorker magazine. And she and I did this book together called The Belling of the Cat, which of course is a part of a Aesop fables. Now, we put this book together in about 30 minutes or so. And that's with her doing the illustrations, and put it up on Kindle, and it is absolutely a gorgeous book. And the cool thing is that the thing continues to be up and available and potentially making money each and every day. So the really cool thing about public domain material is anyone could use it. Now you're probably wondering, what is public domain material? Well, public domain material is any type of content that you could use, I could use, anyone can use, and this is the key, without asking anyone's permission and without paying any royalties. And the really nice thing about this is that there is a whole world of public domain content that is being produced and released every single day. Some of the best public domain content, guess where it comes from? The US federal government. Now you may be wondering, the US federal government produces public domain content? Yes, it does. And it's freely available to you or me. And here is the rationale. Federal government produced content is not even eligible for copyright. Why is that? Because you pay for it and I pay for it with our tax dollars. So there is this whole world of relevant, very good quality public domain content put out by the US federal government. And guess what? It comes out every single day, all right? So that is just one particular source of it. There are lots and lots of other sources of public domain content. As a matter of fact, there's a designation within the Creative Commons licenses. It's called C or CC. And when you see that, that means that that content is in fact public domain. And by the way, this public domain content can be in just about any media format that you can think of. So written, photos, images, video, movies, and all of that is free game for you and me to take, add our own value to it, and create something brand new, once again, without writing anything yourself. Tip number 2 is adding a university student to your team and making it a win-win situation for both of you. Let me tell you what happened with this book. Some of you know that I am a licensed attorney, although I don't practice law anymore. I used to do this kind of law. This book, Erasing Your Criminal Background Legally, The Ultimate Guide to Second Chances, was actually written, or co-written in this case, by Sarah Greenberg. Sarah was a member of Law Review at my alma mater, Texas Tech University School of Law. And when I wanted to write this book, I went back to my alma mater, Law Review, where I was on Law Review, and I asked the editor-in-chief, I have this project, I want to write a book on expunction law. Is there a possibility that you could send out an email to some of the students there? Well, here's the thing. When you are, especially a grad student, you are hungry, and you are hungry for your own publications. You want stuff that really looks good on your curriculum vitae. And if there's an opportunity for you to actually have a publication added to your CV upon graduation, it really, really looks good and makes your employment prospects much, much better. So that was kind of the pitch that I made to Sarah. I said, Sarah, I want to do this book and basically do a whole survey of all of the jurisdictions in the United States on this idea of expunging your criminal record. I told Sarah, hey, I was going to do my level best to make sure that this book really represented her well, and she could use this as a reference material for her employers. And what she did was she basically wrote the entire thing. The entire thing is her work product. And I did what I said I would do, which was make the book a best-selling book, which we did as well, and got all these great endorsements, which now she could use. And for the editing, I also used a student, Constantine. He was a 2L, and his name got put on the cover of the book as well. The entire book was produced without me really writing anything. I think I wrote the foreword, or I wrote the intro and the conclusion. But by and large, that was the only thing that I did. And now got this great book that still sells to this very day, and by the way, has helped literally thousands of people to clear up their records. That's a really, really powerful thing. Tip number 3 is in repackaging and repurposing your content. So I'll give you an example. I have the realfastresults.com podcast. And by the way, if you like this video, you're definitely going to want to check that out. But what I do with that content is I actually will take it and repurpose it, repackage it into its own Kindle books. This is another one. So this is an interview that I did with one of my friends, Tony Leidig, that turned into Profiting from Public Domain Content, which sells on Kindle to this very day. And the really cool thing about this is that I have a team essentially that pulls down the audio. So I do the audio interview, and I have a summary writer that will take the audio, write a summary. That summary will then become the core content of the Kindle book. Then it actually gets shipped out to a person that formats the book and designs the cover. And what I've done is I made sure that with each one of the covers, there is a real similar design element to each one. So you can tell as you go through that they're part of the same series of books. And I've lost count on how many of them we've put up. You can take and repurpose content in any form. It doesn't have to be, for example, a podcast. It could be a simple interview that you do with somebody. You can get on and do a Google Hangout with somebody and have that done. So don't just think it has to be a podcast. It doesn't. I bet you dollars to donuts that right now on your hard drive, you have content that you could take and repackage and repurpose. Create a new asset for yourself and your audience. Tip number 4, and kind of a bonus tip, is in participating in an anthology. Now, this isn't technically zero writing, but it is really very little writing. An anthology is essentially when a group of authors come together and they write a series of chapters around a specific topic. I want to tell you the story of this book right here, Write and Grow Rich, which is an anthology that I participated in. And here's the really cool thing. It actually went on to become a USA Today and a Wall Street Journal bestseller, which is a really nice thing to add to your curriculum vitae and or your resume and or marketing materials. When you participate with a group of authors that know what they're doing marketing wise, and you are collectively marketing the book, like the example with Write and Grow Rich here, we all got together, we all knew what we were doing. But the really cool thing is that when you have a powerful group of co-authors that are all pushing the book at the same time, it can really, really do a lot for your career. It can also, and this is the reason why I do it, it's a huge lead generator. People find me because of this book, and they get on my podcast, or they start listening to my podcast, or they find my YouTube channel, or they buy some of my products. That is how you make money with that particular strategy. And the really nice thing about it is that this group of people, or the group of people that you may participate in an anthology with, they go on to be some of your closest allies, your most profitable joint venture partners, and it just makes a lot of business sense, even if you're the one putting the anthology together. And I would venture to say that you probably already know a number of people in your niche, or the niche that you have an interest in or are passionate about, that you can actually bring in and perhaps lead the anthology yourself. So start thinking about who you would like to participate, and when you're doing this, super important, be thinking about who has the marketing might, who has the influence, who has the ability to reach out and touch their audience, who has an audience. Those are the kind of people that you want in your anthology. Listen, if you take and use what you learned today, you can in fact create a wonderful and very potentially profitable army, library of books that continue to make you money month in, month out. I hope you got massive value from today's tips. Thank you so much for watching. If you are new to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe if you have not yet done that, because this is the kind of content I make, always trying to help you live a more abundant life and have more abundance in your business. Also, if you have not yet liked the video and you do like the video, or even if you don't like the video, go ahead and Hulk smash the like button. It really helps to support the channel so I could actually make more of these videos. And last thing I want to tell you, do your level best to be the blessing.